Win or lose, the Sharks, they put their heart and soul into it tonight. They lost in overtime, so we still get a point. But it's disappointing the way it had to end. We lost to the Vegas Golden Knights tonight by a final score of 5-4. And like I said, they put their heart and soul into it. We were down 3-0 early in this game, and we somehow came back and tied it up at 4 to go into overtime. And it was pretty high scoring. And looking at our goaltending, if you've watched my previous recaps before, I've defended Martin Jones a lot, our goaltender. I've talked about how our defense is the one that's bad. They're the problem, and it's not him. But after tonight, he is the problem. I think I've come to a conclusion. He allowed 3 goals on 8 attempts, which is just pathetic. He had a 62% save percentage. Dubnyk came in pretty quickly after, for reasons quite obvious. But they did, I'll give the Sharks credit. We lost, and it's literally because of our defense. We have the good ability to come back. You look at that Colorado game the other night. We were down 2-0 and scored 6 unanswered. This game could have very well been like that. We were down 3-0, and we just came. We put our heart and soul into it. Second period and third period were great, and that's something we've struggled with before. Having those good second and third periods. Vegas scored 2 in the first, but in the second and third, respectively, we scored 2 in the second and 2 in the third. And Vegas scored 1 in the second and 1 in the third and 1 in overtime. Pretty early into overtime because Brent Burns, he's a Norris Trophy winner. He's a great defenseman, but he somehow couldn't save or couldn't get in front of this shot. And Pacioretty and all those guys were just able to score in overtime. We moved to 8-10-3 now, and Vegas moves to 15-4-1. Very well could have been 15-4-2. We had we put heart and soul into this. Logan Couture was definitely player of the game for us, in my personal opinion. He started fights out there, and I don't think fighting is necessarily a positive thing in terms of penalties, but after there's a correlation. After he fought, we were right back into the game. And I think he fired up the team. He's our captain. He scored a goal, and he's having a great year. The Sharks, I think it's safe to assume that the Sharks pretty much suck this year in terms of standings and gameplay. But Logan Couture does not. He's definitely having a great year. I'm not sure if the NHL is doing All-Stars, but he'd probably get selected. I think he has 12 goals this year already, and great game. The player of the game as a whole would be Max Pacioretty. He had 2 goals and 1 assist for Vegas. They're a great team. Oscar Dansk was in goal tonight, and he had some miscues. Obviously, Leonard or Fleury did not play, so it's going to definitely be different for them in maybe a more negative way. And at the end of the game, there was a couple minutes left. The Sharks, LeBanc had an amazing goal, which maybe wasn't a result of a Dansk mishap. He kind of fell over and kind of hit the goal in himself, but obviously LeBanc was right there. But our offense is really not the problem. If we get a goal, I'm pretty sure I saw a statistic earlier today. Dubnyk and Martin Jones, respectively, are 70th and 67th best goalies in the NHL. Yeah, not good at all. And if each team has about 3 goalies, that's a problem. But the Sharks tonight, I guess it's safe to say they played well, but they needed to play great. When you're playing a team like the Vegas Golden Knights, at top of the division, they're a Stanley Cup favorite. You got to play good hockey, and not just good hockey, excellent hockey with little to no mistakes, right? Because when you have a goalie like Jones, we probably would have won if he did not have all those mistakes, because we barely lost. And four goals is not bad, You should be averaging around 3 to 4, and Vegas just was fortunate to have more, and they had better goaltending as a whole. Dubnyk had an .895 save percentage, so he'll likely get the start. We're playing again tomorrow, the Knights again, on a back-to-back, and we just got to improve. The Sharks, I guess, a positive. They wore the reverse retros tonight for the first time, so I got the hat and jersey. They looked different on the ice than they did on just seeing them. But let me know your thoughts on that if if you're interested in the Sharks jerseys. I think they're pretty cool. I think they're not the coolest ones, but they're pretty cool. But that's, I guess, the positive. But we do get a point for this. So like I said, we'll move to 8, 10, and 3 now. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and go Sharks.